and sit down.
What is going on, Dads? And welcome to episode 46 of the Dads After Dark Show. Recorded on Sunday, May 16th, 2021. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and that hunky, junky, old fart, 40-something-year-old listeners.
Hey, read the copy.
You know, John, we learned this evening in our from our Discordians that the average listener base is in their 40s-ish.
Do you think that's the average? I mean, there's a bunch of us that are in our 40s, but
we polled like 8 people. But
Drew, what was the first console you remember playing as a kid?
NES.
NES. Okay, so see, that does age you down a little bit because I think the 40-somethings are kind of like the Atari television crowd.
Yeah, I remember playing the Atari, but yeah, not. It was many years. I mean, NES was already out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's that. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're the hunky 40-somethings, and you're the junky 30-somethings. Yeah. Zoomers. So what's new, John? How you been doing? I've had an interesting couple of weeks. A lot of work drama. That I probably shouldn't get into too much on a public podcast, but I'm sure nobody listens to it. But yeah, I've had some difficulties. I'm not sure if I've talked about it, but I've had some difficulties with one of my coworkers over the last few months. And I was looking at some possible ways to work through it. And this past week, he announced that he was leaving the team. Transferring to a different team in the company because I don't know, he thinks that I'm a menace to society or something, but I have a feeling.
So do you think he left because of you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. Absolutely. It's too bad you guys aren't in the office where you could at least like walk by each other in the lunchroom.
Yeah, well, he's not in he's in another state. So he wouldn't, even if we weren't, even if we were in the office.
So you've never met this person?
No.
How do you despise a person so much that you've never even met?
Well, there's other communication channels,
Do you guys video chat?
Things that he's typed to me directly, things that he's brought up in like larger meetings that were inappropriate.
Do you
honestly, the way he's treated other people on the team, he hasn't really socially connected with anybody else on the team. So it's going to be weird when he's like leaving. But I think he feels like the team isn't. It's not a friendly team or whatever, but like we could not be more friendly. It's like one of my favorite teams that I've ever worked with. And I don't know if he's just going through a bad time in his life or something, but I was pretty ecstatic when it was announced. And so, So
do you think they're catfishing you?
No.
Yeah, how do you know?
What do you mean catfishing?
Maybe they're not really who they say they are.
It's like there's video conferencing, man.
Maybe they just have a fill-in.
Maybe. No, it's been pretty bad, but things will get better. Friday's going to be a great day because not only his last day, but a certain blurple piece of hardware that's coming out. So
who cares?
I'm really excited for it.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't have the same excitement level as many other people for just a colored console.
You really do need a Switch Lite. You need a second console when your kids are playing Pokemon or something.
You're not wrong. I do need one, and I'm waiting for the Pro of some sort.
Yeah. The Blurple's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I had a birthday party today for my daughter. I mean, it was like 5 people there in my family, but I've been in the pool. I was in the pool all day today. It is glorious.
Wait, again today?
Oh, yeah. I did get my money's worth, John.
Wow.
We got it's been like low 70s, but we have the heater. So the pool's at like a nice warm 85 degrees. It's nice. It's
your toes all shriveled up and
not just my toes, John. But listen, it's funny because I was hoping my kids would be like exhausted, but they just don't stop. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's to that age.
Well, you got the pool right at the end of pool season last year,
and I did not have the heater hooked up. So yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
And now you've got all the fancy patio and seating and like everything. So yeah, you're gonna party. But yeah, all weekend. You were saying you were in the pool all day yesterday.
I was. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Nice. We in Colorado, we don't really have pools.
Well, you open up for like 1 month.
Yeah. So I honestly, I was like, oh, I want to go in a pool, but now like just the thought of maintaining that pool, like cleaning the pool, and
you know what I have? I have a robot vacuum. You literally just throw it in the pool,
and it just kind of swims around.
It swims around. It climbs the walls. It does the bottom, sucks up everything, and then you take it out. You take out a little basket, and you empty the dirt out. And
nice. Is it in there when you're in the pool too?
No. Nope.
I bet your kids love that.
Oh yeah, they call it Wally because it kind of has like the treadmill tires.
Yeah.
But no, it's not terrible. It's not that much work. I enjoy it. If you didn't know, I'm kind of like an OCD freak, so I like keeping it clean. It's just a nice, it's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll talk about that later on in the countdown.
Indeed.
What do you say, Drew? We got right into what we've been playing this week.
Yeah. All right, John, what have we been playing? I've been playing a plethora of odd games. I mean...
What did you just... A plethora?
Plethora.
Plethora.
Nope. Anyways.
This will be a topic.
I was looking at my... I was looking at my hours played this evening, actually, and I noticed, I don't know how or when, but Slay the Spire is at 60 hours, John.
I'm so proud of it. You've had so much fun.
I did.
It's a great game.
I'll go back. The problem is going back to you're going to have to learn the cards. Like you said, you get to the point where you're just jamming buttons because you can, But yeah. It's a fun game, and it's a good run or two.
And you were at a point where you would play like 10 times in a row. You told me like I've died 10 times in a row. I think I'm done. But then you win. Yes. And you move up, and then all of a sudden it like resets everything, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this.
But it's even harder.
Yeah.
New Pokemon Snap, still boring. Miitopia demo. I was blown away by this game. I'll tell you what, this is the new Let's Go Pikachu for my kids. They are all in, specifically because you get to name all the characters, right? The Millen is Dark Lord Poopy Pants. Goomba is like the mayor of the town. And of course, my kids and my wife are in the party with us. We have like a rainbow colored unicorn. They love it because I let them just pick everything so they see their faces and stuff, and they're having an absolute blast. It's great. I mean, 5 hours on the demo. That's how long I played. Is it
a time demo or is like you have to go through like one world, or how do they cap you?
One world. Okay. But it's awesome. You should go back and kind of replay some of the levels too to make sure you get everything and do the different paths within the level.
Might as well. Do you get the horse yet?
We did. We made it a rainbow unicorn.
So what does the horse give you? Because
I'm
looking for a reason to play this game again. I played through it on the 3DS, but the horse is interesting. Like, so what does the horse do?
I believe so far the horse does nothing. I think it just follows you.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
You might be right now, but wrong later when the game.
We got the horse late in the demo too, so we didn't have it for very long.
All right.
It's just it's fun. My kids love it. I have it pre-ordered, ready to go, downloaded already. For when it comes out the 21st. I'm kind of excited. And speaking of that, we'll be talking a little bit more about Miitopia in the countdown.
Oh, I mean, we're doing good on the teasing here.
Ooh.
We're good.
John, the game of the decade that I came across. Listen, I've been playing games like Slay the Spire, Pokemon Let's Go, new Pokemon Snap. I just wanted like a mindless hack and slash type game. And I have like 8 of these mindless, $2 to $12 games on my wish list. And so I was like, let me go look at my wish list. By the way, can you not look at your wish list on the Switch?
Yeah, you can look at your wish list on the Switch.
I feel like
Where do you use the wish list
on my phone?
Online? Oh, you do it on the phone?
Yeah, or online. Yeah.
You just go to no, you have to go to the eShop, and then you click on your avatar in the top right corner, and then one of the tabs is wish list.
Damn it! I see. It should just. Good to know, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I went through my wish list. I found one on sale. The game of the decade.
Oh my God.
Ages of Mages. The Last Keeper.
I'm sorry, everybody.
This game's fantastic. Let me be blunt. It's not a great game, but it's fun, and it has couch co-op.
I'm gonna watch the trailer while you talk.
All right. So essentially, it's mages, it's wizards, John. It's wizards.
Wizards, wicked wizards.
There's 4 different kinds. There's lightning, fire, ice, and earth. Which I thought was poison because it was green, but then when I tried it, it's definitely earth.
Yeah, poison's usually purple.
Well, the lightning was purple.
Oh, I see.
So I played the game. I played through the entire game. It's about 4 to 5 hour game with the lightning wizard by myself, solo. It was challenging. It was a ton of fun. It's very simple where they have a very detailed skill tree where you can lock up the 4 skills, which are the 4 buttons. You move with the left joystick, but the right joystick is kind of how you shoot and aim. So if you just hold the right joystick right, I'm shooting lightning bolts. And then you have your mana, and you have to hold the L button to refill your mana bar. So when you're not battling, you hold L. So it's interesting strategy because you can't just hold fire lightning the entire time, because eventually you are going to run out of mana, which you have to kind of kite around the screen and hold L to recharge. But it's fun. They have like an overworld type little map where you move around. There's you go through the forest and a dungeon and ice and volcano and castles. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I did go back and I started playing tonight with my wife. I said, let's just play. Let's try 2-player and see how it works. And I went with the elemental wizard. And I will say the green one, the earth one, that's probably the best wizard to go and use first. You get to unlock this golem that can follow you around, as well as you can unlock a heal spell. So there's no healing in the game unless you find food, which is very rare and hard to find. But the game was, like I said, it was a ton of fun. This would be the perfect game if you have maybe like an 8 to 10-year-old kid that wants to play, or if you want to play with your significant other. But it's just so fun to easy and pick up, and it's not long, and it's fun. And like I said, it's co-op type game.
Yeah,
like I said, it's not great, but it's fun.
It doesn't look great, Drew. It does remind me of it reminds me of Minecraft Dungeons, though. Especially when you mentioned getting the golem, because I remember when I played with Cedric, he loved having the little golem that follows you around.
Oh yeah.
But the battling looks different. It also kind of reminds me of Nine Parchments, which was a game that I played through before Diablo got ported to the Switch. Because it was like I really wanted a Diablo type game, and that kind of scratched the itch for a little bit, because of the twin stick, where you're using the right stick to aim while you're running around.
Yes, so I do like that. It's very easy to play. But I will say the game itself was hard playing solo. I think if I started with the Earth Wizard, it would have been a lot easier. But the Lightning one was fine. I ended up beating the game. It was challenging. There was levels I probably died 15 times, 20 times in a row, and I just kept, trying to replay and learn a little bit more every go.
Rages of Mages.
Rages of Drew Mages. So Ages of Mages, The Last Keeper. I think it's typically $11.99. Maybe you put it on your wish list. But it was fun. 5-hour game. And like I said, I think it's worth maybe another playthrough because I'm going to play with a different mage. So it's very different play style.
Is your wife liking it?
She had fun. I mean, she said it's whatever. She could care less if I never probably played it again.
Okay.
But Yeah, she played. I mean, we had some laughs and stuff. And like I said, once I found out that mine could heal, it was more fun because I'd be like, oh my God, come to me. Like, and, I'll heal you. So it got to be fun. But yeah,
nice.
What about you?
Yeah, I've had a weird kind of gaming month with Switch because I really haven't played anything new until this week. But Sayonara Wild Hearts, I'm still working on that. I have wild ranked now all 23 levels, which, I mean, literally every hour of the day, Drew, I think about it and go, wow, that's pretty fucking sweet. Like, because I just never thought I would get there. Getting a wild rank is almost like playing the level perfectly. Some levels do have a lot of like leeway. Some levels have just virtually no leeway, but you just have to be dead on. And some of these levels are not designed for pinpoint controls.
I can't count for that.
Yeah, so I've done 23 wild ranks. So now I just have 2 more things I need to do, and that is the arcade mode, which is you have to go through all 23 levels in a row. And if you die in any given level along the way, it just resets your multiplier. So that the multiplier is always reset at the end of each of the levels. But if you die during the level, you'll reset your multiplier, and it really makes it harder to get to wild rank. So I think I have to get to 1.5 million. My high coming into this was 1.1 million. And then the other night I got like 1.37 million. So my score has improved. But it is hard to keep 23 levels in your head. Some levels are always in my head, like especially the ones that are based on the real songs. But those in between ones that have more of like electronic music, it's harder to keep in my head. So, but I'm having fun going through it. It takes me about 45 minutes to do a run. And sometimes if I do really badly, I can just stop the run and save myself some time. But yeah, I'm going to continue to work on that. And then I have to do the YOLO mode, which is all 23 levels in a row. And if you die, your game ends. That's really hard.
Why? Why is that even a thing?
I know, but the thing is, it's doable, and unless you get really lucky in the arcade mode, if you die in a level, you can survive maybe, but you can't die too many times, otherwise your multiplier will just never get you to 1.5 million. So it's not going to be that much harder once I can get the 1.5 million. The good news is I only need 1.5 million in the YOLO. The score doesn't get higher, so I'll be working on that. In fact, I might try another run tonight. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Drew. I have now played this game through, 2 credits, 3 times.
Cheater.
I wanted to play the whole trilogy on Xbox Series X. I think it was like a couple months ago when they announced that the Survivor Edition was coming out. They basically sold. I still can't believe this deal.
Like the TV show?
No, the Tomb Raider. So it's the Tomb Raider Survivor Trilogy, I think they call it. They released all 3 games in the trilogy, plus all the DLC. And when they released it, this was like a couple months ago, $10. It was it 10 or 20? God, I think it was $10. It was like the joke of jokes. And I bought it in like a split second, didn't even think about it. And so I wanted to play all 3 games. But was it 5 or 6 months ago, I actually 100%ed the Tomb Raider game on the PS4. And yeah, so I decided to just 100% it on the Xbox now because I just wanted to play through them in a row. So, but I actually got through it in hard mode, Drew, 13 and a half hours, 100% completion. I'm not going to lie, I was pretty proud of that. I had a feeling, I thought I would lower the difficulty while I was playing at some point, and I just never did. It wasn't super hard, but I've played the game. This is my 3rd time through, so I'm better at it. I know where things are, so it probably helps.
That makes me think. This would be a good question for a future episode, but I'm going to throw it out here now. What's your take on hard mode when it's really just increasing, enemy health? Yeah. And increasing enemies, damage output. Look at Diablo, right? When we played Diablo, it was, what defines hard mode? Is it just more enemies? Is it just more health?
More enemies, more health.
I don't know. To me, it's just you're cramming too much shit into a little hole. No pun intended.
I think it's a good question, but I like the way Diablo does it, and it was kind of like how Outriders did it, where the harder it is, the more loot you can get, the better the loot you can get. So it's
a
like
reward there.
Yeah, and it also it lets you throttle it up and down. God, this sounds like sex talk, man. It lets you you can make it more difficult, less difficult based on what loot you want at that given time. Whereas if I'm playing Tomb Raider and I'm playing on hard mode and I lower it to normal, putting it back on hard mode later doesn't feel like I got through the game in hard mode, because
I just don't, Ages of Mages, there's 4 difficulties. I did this, normal was like the second one. But yeah, what's the point of that game to really increase it, or any game like that? There's no drops, there's no loot.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's more like a pride thing. Like I can play it through it on hard mode. But you're right. Like only in a game with loot variability does hard mode really kind of feel more fun. But like you're playing Slay the Spire, right? And you're going through the Ascensions and they're getting harder. But it's so you can say I beat Ascension 10, I beat Ascension 15, but that's it. I
beat the game in 1 hour. I wasn't going to stop there. I was going to. Well, that game's a little different because I still want to know how and what happens when you destroy the heart. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I put it on hard mode just for something different. Otherwise, I'm playing the exact same game. And and I got through it. So I probably won't play. So I'm going to continue on to Tomb Raider. What do they call the second one? I swear it's like an anniversary edition or something. But I'm going to continue on to the second one tomorrow. I'm really after playing the first one twice in a row to full completion. I am dying to see different content, and I don't think I did the DLC in the second and third game. So I'm really looking forward to new Tomb Raider stuff now. I'm very excited. The third game I want to talk about is Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir. I didn't put in the little tagline there, but The Missing Heir. So let me tell you, Drew. This game came out. There's 2 games. They're both ports of games that came out in 1988 for the original Famicom in Japan. They were never localized, so they're just Japanese-only releases. And both of these came out on Friday. I was pretty hyped the last couple weeks. I started to get hyped about it because I am a huge fan of the Ace Attorney games, and these just have an Ace Attorney feel. And they totally remade these games. These are not just straight ports. These are totally remade. So I was pretty hyped up for it. And very quickly, I was feeling very disappointed. And after a couple of hours, I was in the very familiar hate playing mode, Drew, where I really didn't like this game, but I am just going to finish it. And I finished it today. I put out my 30-second review, so check that out on our channel.
I do need to watch that one.
Yeah, it's got problems. And I think this is one of those games where people get lazy and say, hey, do you like the Phoenix Wright games? You'll like this. But that's an insult because the Phoenix Wright games are so much better. And just because I like the Phoenix Wright games, it doesn't mean I want to play an inferior version of it.
No, but they got you at $35.
They did get me for $35. I was assuming I would end up buying the second one and you get a big discount, but I'm not going to buy the second one.
How do you play these games? You should have just played Ages of Mages.
No, well, hey, you've never played Phoenix Wright, so but I don't know. I don't know if that's right for you, but Phoenix Wright is such a great game, and you don't understand why it does the things it does until you play a game like this one. In Phoenix Wright, you are, you're kind of an investigator, you're kind of a detective, but you're a lawyer, and you have to handle the cases in court. And man, there are the weirdest characters in Phoenix Wright games, and the weirdest scenarios happen, and just crazy stuff goes on, and it's so much fun. But then when you play this game, the characters in this game are just regular people. Nobody's funny. There's no humor in the game. Phoenix Wright games are hilarious. There's no humor. The characters are all very straight-laced. They just look like normal human beings. And oh my God, it's just all talking. It's a game that says detective, and a detective is usually somebody who's searching around, looking for clues and all that. But this game is just dialogue trees. Very little. They let you inspect the environment, but oh my God, very rarely, like less than 5 times in the whole game, is there something in the environment to see. So, yeah, it's just all dialogue trees, and I just kept getting stuck where I didn't know how to advance the story, and you just have to go talk to one person, do every single thing you can talk about, and the list gets bigger and bigger as you go. And it's like, let me just go through these 9 things in the list.
Fun. That does not
it's
even
not even
like torture.
fun. There was a couple times where I got stuck. Like I could not figure out what to do. I had this little cheat sheet thing on me, and like sometimes it was like, oh, you have to try to talk about this particular person 3 times. Like I was like, well, I talked, and it's like, oh, I went to talk to her about, this lawyer guy, and she said she didn't want to talk about it. Well, you got to do that 2 more times, and then she'll talk about it. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, it was just very unintuitive moon logic stuff. The story was decent, but for the most part, the story just advances without you really doing anything. Whereas in a Phoenix Wright game, you like find a clue and then you present that clue and it moves things along. Whereas this was like, oh, ho hum, I'm just talking to somebody. Oh, the phone rang. Oh, this person just died. So it just wasn't good. I finished it up. I wanted to make sure I finished it in case my opinion changed. I did not want to do my 30-second review until I finished it. And yeah, I was pretty much, I didn't like it. So I kind of killed it. But the thing that I find weird is I've seen people give decent reviews of this game online. And honestly, I think it's one of those cases where people are trying to be nice. It's a Nintendo published game. They're not going to try to kill it. These reviewers don't want to kill Nintendo too bad. Mm-hmm. Do not play it. It is not fun at all. It really is not. Don't play it. I will be honest with you. It's not fun. Watch my 30-second review.
Glad to hear.
And I love the Phoenix Wright games. And the last thing I'll say about it really is, if you have never played a detective game before, maybe you will like it a little bit. But if you have played a Phoenix Wright game before, you will not like it, because it just doesn't have what Phoenix Wright has. It's just a relic of the past. It felt like an 80s game. They did all new graphics, all new sound. It's all voiced over, but it's in Japanese. But it's the same game. And it was not a good time. So now I need a new Switch game, Drew. I don't know what I'm going to play.
Ages of Mages.
Not happening. I am thinking of breaking open Pokemon Snap.
Did you have it?
I did buy it.
Listen, the game is well polished. It's just boring. I'll tell you what, they don't false advertise anything. It's exactly what they said it was. You take pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even grab the attention of my 7-year-old and 4-year-old, who, mind you, just had a Pokemon birthday party. Like, she's obsessed with Pokemon. And this, she even's like, yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. But it's probably not a big time commitment either to just, like, roll credits or something. So, have you rolled credits?
I'm in World 2, John.
Okay, so you really haven't played. Okay.
I think I've played 4 levels.
Yeah, I might just do it. There's nothing coming out this week. I don't know what the next game I'm going to play is. I think there's something coming out in June. I can't remember off the top of my head. I also did. I bought Crash Bandicoot 4 the other day.
Played those.
Did I tell you? I don't think I told you why I bought Crash Bandicoot 4.
I probably came with an amiibo or something.
I needed deodorant. And
okay, that's fair.
I realized I haven't bought much deodorant in the last year because I don't really leave the house, so I just haven't worn it. And
John.
But I really needed deodorant, and I just didn't feel like going to the store for it, so I wanted to do Amazon one-day delivery, and I had to reach like $40 to qualify. So I bought Crash Bandicoot with it, so I could get deodorant.
Why did you need deodorant that day?
Because I hadn't had deodorant in like a week.
So 2 days was going to make a big difference. I mean, come on.
I was becoming very aware. Well, no, you know what it was? You know when you have deodorant and you're at the very end of it and you're maximally rolled to the top and there's like a little bit of blue gel and you're like every day you're like, okay, I'll buy deodorant, but I'll just wipe with half
and then
the plastic.
That day it just pops out when you twist it.
Falls on the floor.
No.
So I might, but I've never played Crash Bandicoots 1, 2, or 3. So maybe I'll just play Crash Bandicoot 1 this week. How about that?
What, can you get that on the Switch nowadays? I don't follow.
Oh yeah. The trilogy is on the Switch, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe I played it once at somebody's house that had a PlayStation. I don't know. If I remember correctly, it was kind of clunky controllers.
Well, I haven't played the original, so I don't think I can complain about a remake. Some people don't like the remake, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll try the first one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna play Sayonara Wild Hearts though.
Or Ages of Mages.
Or Ages. No, that's not. Hell, I'm gonna play that. I already have that Mana Spark game.
Oh, you didn't play Mana Spark yet.
Well, I bought it, yeah, but I don't.
Mana Spark is better than Ages of Mages.
I'm never gonna buy Ages of Mages. It's not.
That's
happening.
Okay, but play Mana Spark.
Yeah.
Check if Ages of Mages is on your, what do you call it, free Xbox shit. See if it's on there.
I got a Series X. It is the most powerful console on the planet. I'm not playing Ages of Mages on it.
Bet you will look fucking fantastic. All right.
Let's move on to the top 10.
Number 10.
Drew, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition has been updated to 60 frames per second on the Xbox.
Wait, why wasn't it before?
It wasn't before. Yeah, I think, what was it, like August of this year, I bought Tomb Raider and it was locked at 30. And I'm telling you, some people don't care about the frame rates, but listen, it was 60 on my PS4 and it was 30 on my Xbox One X.
I'm going to play Dumb Drew here for a second.
All right.
Okay. Drew. And as a programmer, even though this is very different, I feel like you can help me out here. How does this happen? How does a game get published at 30 frames per second, and then all of a sudden we're going to do a live update push for free, and it's just magically going to double the frame rate to 60? Like what? How and why? Like it's like filming a movie, right? When you film a movie, you have it in the highest quality possible.
Oh, it's just, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but you're capturing images one time. You're not. This is a digital. This is like a calculated.
Is it just
screen.
Someone didn't render it, or what is this?
If you build so in the beginning of Tomb Raider there is a cutscene. It's like a cinematic cutscene. It's not an in-game scene. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
That cutscene did not update its frame rate. It was a little choppy in its frame rate because that's how it was built by the studio. So there's no way you could fix that. But the gameplay went from 30 to 60. And when I had bought this game on Xbox, I think what the story is, when the Xbox One came out, the PS4 was more powerful. And so it could do the game at 60. And then when the Xbox One X came out, they just never improved it, like ever. And then when the Series X came out, they did not improve it. Then they announced the Survivor trilogy, and I thought for sure they were going to fix it. And they didn't. But a couple weeks ago, Xbox has this thing called FPS Boost, and they did it. So there was no involvement from Square Enix, who's the publisher, and that's a freaking shame that Square Enix did not put in the minimal effort to boost the frame rate on what is one of the best games I've ever played.
So do you think Square Enix has to approve this?
Oh, Square Enix. So Crystal Dynamics is the developer. I mean, someone needed to go in there, unlock whatever the frame rate, however they're capping it, and then just do some testing. And, from their point of view, it takes some time, takes some effort, maybe take some resources they don't have. But this game is worth it, and they never did it. The FPS Boost program, I looked it up a little bit. Xbox does this. So basically, they can up the frame rate of a game that doesn't support that frame rate. And I was thinking, are they calculating in between frames? Are they using some kind of AI? Because remember we heard about this possibly with the Switch Pro, like there was some like it was like some AI technology to boost the frame rate because it's basically putting in
it's added 30 frames.
But this is not what FPS Boost is. So apparently the DirectX library, which is what you're building Xbox games on, PC games with, they can basically bypass the cap that was put into the game. So basically without changing any code, they can say, you know, hey, make this 60 frames a second. And they do their own testing and that sort of thing. So they've done this apparently with hundreds of games that on the Series X that came from Xbox One, because they probably saw the same thing. They are so good with their backwards compatibility. They're like, but these games aren't updating, and so we need a way to update these games when like some of these companies are defunct or something. And I'm glad they did it because the game was not playable, you know, when I tried to play it last time. And this time, oh my God, it looks so much better. So I just had a blast playing through it. I put up some movies you can see, but like, I think I know this answer for you, but like, does frame rate matter to you? I mean, when they put out the Switch Pro and they talk about this, I forget the name of it, but this sort of like AI sort of like frame rate booster thing, does that excite you or it just doesn't matter to you?
I mean, I'm not going to say it wouldn't excite me, but it's not game changing for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like of course, if someone said, you know, do you want Breath of the Wild 2 in 30 frames or do you want Breath of the Wild 2 in 60 frames? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna pick 60. I'm gonna enjoy the better graphics.
Right.
But you know, and even if somebody said, all right, well, 60 frames per second is $70 and 30 is only 60. What would you do? Yeah, I'd pay the 70, right? But you know, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna make a big difference to me if I play a different frame rate of a game. You know, Ages of Mages. It's probably like 5 to 10 frames per second.
Looks like it. Yeah, I can deal with 30 frames a second in many games. I remember like Mario and Rabbids, that sort of thing. Other games, like you notice it. Like when I play The Witcher, I notice that the frame rate is less. But I was able to play with it for a long time. I think it does hurt when you play the game in an expanded frame rate. And then because I think it was 30 frames. I think it was 30 frames per second even on the other consoles. But there is a mode on the I think it was on the was it the Series X or was it my previous one that actually had it going at 60 frames a second. And once I unlocked that, I was like, oh man, like then you can't go back. That becomes a big problem. That's why I couldn't play Tomb Raider because I had played it at 30 frames at 60 frames a second.
So let me ask you this: would you ever pay more money for a higher frame rate game? And what's that?
That's that's weird. I mean, like, so like if the game
Breath
was
of
like
the Wild 2, let's say Breath of the Wild 2 comes out on a Switch Pro, but the you know, maybe it comes out on the Switch too. 2 different games, 2 different frame rates.
Oh, I see.
But one's $80 and one's $60. Like what's the price difference you would pay?
That's a weird scenario. I would buy the better one.
But how much more are you willing to pay?
It's just a weird question. It doesn't actually happen. Probably. I'm not going to pay $50
but that's more. Not necessarily true, right? I mean, I have no idea. What's Xbox and PlayStation games? Are they still 60 or are they more?
It depends.
What's the most expensive new release game for those systems?
It's usually like 70.
Okay, so that's a good example.
Yeah.
Switch is not, right?
Right.
Switch's games are 60. That's their top tier games.
Right.
So in a way, you are paying more for more graphical games.
If it's a game that you're going to play hundreds of hours in, like when Diablo 4 comes out, right?
Correct.
If Diablo 4 comes out and it's $70 on a Series X and it's $60 on a Switch, I'm buying it on my Series X unless it still looks good, just like the Diablo on the Switch did, and I know I can play it portably. But like I'm kind of already favoring that I would buy it on my Xbox because I'd rather play it in a better resolution, better frame rate.
What if you can't play with me, John? What if it doesn't have crossplay?
Oh, Xbox and Nintendo play well together.
I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic of Are people willing to pay more? What if the Switch Pro comes out and it's $70 for their games?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely, like, if a game is on sale on Switch, but you go and buy, like, well, I bought Phoenix Rising on Xbox instead of on Switch, and I think it was cheaper on Switch at the time. So that's a.
But again, you're going to sink 40 plus hours into it.
Yeah, and I saw the side by side, and it just looked a lot better on Series X. And I had just bought the Series X, so I wanted to enjoy a nicer looking game too. So
no, fair point. I sidetracked you toward a bit here. I'm sorry.
I know yeah. Anyway, yeah, Tomb Raider. Oh, finally 60, orgasmic. Played through the whole game, loved it. Next topic.
Number 9.
We have a new sister podcast.
Little
Game
sister.
Pass news is here. It's kind of Game Pass news. It's kind of old news at this point, Drew, but Nick and Sean started a new podcast. The Dad Crossing is going to be kind of just an Animal Crossing news only podcast. All of their extra stuff and fluff is just going to move over to Game Pass news. And yeah, like I feel partly responsible, the whole Game Pass topic about Game Pass being free. I think we're all getting the bug. We're all playing free games on Game Pass.
Not free.
Not free, but basically free.
Not free, but good deal.
It's been fun to see. Nick and Sean are really kind of taking this into like a let's play, and they're going through all these games that they're playing for free on Game Pass. And yeah, it's been fun kind of watching. I think Sean played Outlast 2, like kind of a horror game, playing Lonely Mountains. So it's just fun. I mean, Game Pass and other programs like it are just fun because you start playing games that you might not have bought and tried before, and you find that you have fun playing certain games. And if you don't like it, it's okay to not play it because you didn't specifically buy that game. So you can be like, this is not for me. I don't feel guilty. But like with me, Famicom Detective Club, I have to finish this $35 game now because I paid for it. So yeah, that's their new podcast. I think they're on all the podcast apps now. So give them a search and give them a review. It really helps. And while you're there, review us too.
Yeah. Well, Nick and Sean, I want to say congratulations, and it's nice to see it. Hopefully you agree with my assessment of Game Pass is not free. But great deals out there. Now, I wonder if Ages of Mages was free, if it would make my experience a little bit better.
It would not.
What about Famicom Detective Shadow shit, whatever it was called?
No, God.
Would that have been better if it was free? Or would you have not finished it?
I would have not have finished it. Absolutely. I would have not have finished it.
We're the dads that finished, John.
We are the dads that finished, and I finished all over the walls. It was glorious.
It's a weird thing to say. Okay.
Number 8.
John, I have a question for you.
I'm already married, Drew.
Oh, damn it. All right, anywho. But you are a cheater. We know that. If you could have any Nintendo-themed merchandise, right? Think of like an everyday item or something like that that you don't have that's Nintendo themed. This is something you could invent, you could create, you could do whatever you want. What would it be?
This one is easy. This is a Nintendo themed thing I have wanted for years and years since I was a little kid. We had, I don't know if you had Child World. Children's World? Child World. It was a toy store. And so it was like a Toys R Us, but it was Child World.
We don't have that, no.
Child World, I had to be like I can't remember how old I was, but like 12, 13, whatever. They had a store within a store, and it was a Nintendo store.
Ooh.
It was this little roped off area in the store that sold nothing but Nintendo merchandise. It had its own clerk. It was like a Starbucks in a supermarket.
Okay.
But bigger. And oh my God, they had all the games all sealed, and they had tons of merchandise. If I could go back in time, I would go to Child World and buy all the things. But the one thing that I really want that I cannot get is a Legend of Zelda tin garbage can. It wasn't a big garbage can. You know those tin garbage cans you put in your office. Usually, I have a Broncos one.
Yeah.
Here, like, see, this is my trash can here.
Okay.
It's a Broncos trash can.
Do you want a Zelda one?
I want a Zelda one, but it's like a smaller one. It's a smaller one. It's more of like an office trash can. They don't pop up much on eBay. The problem is shipping is like a pain, and a lot of times they're used garbage cans.
That's okay.
So it's, I don't know, not the most attractive thing to get. It's just a weird thing to get your hands on. That's what she said. But yeah, I want the Legend of Zelda, and it has the old Legend of Zelda graphics, like the the hand drawn.
I'm looking at it right now. It has it's
glorious.
red almost. Red. Yep. I see.
Yeah, it's glorious, and I love the old Legend of Zelda art. It's just I love like when you open the manual for the original Legend of Zelda, just that kind of art.
Yeah.
I just love that style. $300.
I'm giving you anything in the world, and you want a trash can.
Is this new? It's old. It's like rusted inside.
You put a bag over it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I want. I want to go back in time and get a brand new. I'll get like two of them, one to use and one to keep clean. How about you?
I don't know. I don't know. The question was for you, but I mean, I don't know. I want something that I'm looking at or using every day, right? Like I want a Nintendo themed car. Like I want to, like the outside painted with Goombas on it. I want to get inside and just be decked out in Nintendo stuff.
Something
that I'm in every day. You know, something that I want. If I can
find a picture. There is somebody who lives in my area. To put it in perspective, when I was commuting to work, I would drive to the park and ride, the train station, and I would see this car often. And it was I don't know what model car it was. It was black, but it was designed to look like Bullet Bill. And it was my dream to like find out who rode this car. Can I invite them to my gaming group? Like, I just want to tell them how awesome it is. And yeah, it's a Bullet Bill car. And awesome. They live right near me. And yeah, that's what you need. I'll see if I can find a picture for you.
I'll take a Bullet Bill car.
So cool. So they do exist.
Yes, and it's something that already it does exist. I am still jealous of your chain chomp lamp. That'd be nice.
It is pretty cool. I never turn it on.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have it. It's like a USB thing. I think I have it plugged in. I think I can turn it on. Let me see. Hey, it's on. There you go.
Number 7.
Game Builder Garage was announced 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about that.
I guess within the last 2 weeks. Oh my God, Drew. This looks so freaking cool.
It's up your alley.
Oh my gosh. So basically Game Builder Garage it's kind of based on, I think it was one of the Labo VR games or the Labo games.
So it's one of the mini games on Labo, you're saying?
I think both the original Labo releases had it. But this it makes it independent. It's not Labo specific, and it expands it like a ton. So cool. It's being billed as like a game programming studio. You can build all types of games, and for the most part, it's just it's all visual. You're connecting things to things. So the example they had was they connected the control stick left and right to like running, and then when you go left and right, it makes the character run left and right. As these sort of environments are, usually the easier they are to use, the less customization you have. So it remains to be seen, if you're making like your own little platforming game, how much specialization, how much customization can you do in your game? But I'm like super excited for this. These are the kind of things my son is like. He's a Mario Maker freak, so he's all super excited for this. And this comes out just as summer is coming with the kids. So they're going to have all day to just kind of build games. My son was already looking forward to playing with Unity over the summer, and now he's got Game Builder Garage. And the other cool part is the game is only $30. So you can buy a couple copies for $60.
Why
so we're
would you need a couple?
Well, my son's gonna play with it a lot, and I'm gonna play with it. So I'm just gonna buy a couple copies so they're floating around.
Let me get this straight. I have to pay Nintendo $30 for a video game. I get this video game, but I can't play any video games yet. I have to then go design and build the video game? Seems like a fucking scam.
It's just a game maker. You can basically build games, and the cool part is when you
can
build
play the
something,
game.
No, you play it.
I don't want to build it. I just want to play it.
I know, but when you build it, you can then share it with people, so people can share all their stupid little games. So it's gonna be so much fun. It'd be like Mario Maker. Then you can go play other people's little games.
If I buy this game, can I just not make any and just play their games that you make?
Yeah, you can play other people's creations.
That's fair.
I don't think it'll be the best game you ever play.
This should be a monthly mayhem.
I mean, I think your kids would really benefit, especially like Zoe, from like just learning how to program the game. Nintendo is going to handhold them like crazy, and then just like see where their creativity goes. And it's the summer; it's going to be boring, and they can't be in the pool every day.
Well, that's what you think. No, you're right though. I think my daughter would love this. Maybe this would be good if she had her own Switch, right, Jen?
And it's only $30. Yeah, you need to get Blurple. You got to get Blurple.
The Blurple.
It releases June 11th, so it's pretty soon, less than a month now. And no typing. It's just all UI. So I'm super excited. I think this is a great game for dads to get their kids. I can't wait. Stoked, man. Thank you, Nintendo.
Let's step up the intensity. Ouch! Now that was a great workout.
Number 6.
Ice Hockey League. That's right, folks. Chris HL94, Discordian, is hosting a lovely Ice Hockey League. As you have known, we've talked about it. We've been playing. We're waiting for the big matchup of Drew versus John. Has not yet been pulled out of the hat.
Oh, I'm gonna rip you apart.
But how's it going? How's it going for you?
Good to bad. I started off with a big win, week 1, 33-3, whitewashing. And then was immediately humbled by a pretty thorough beaten down by Crazy Geek Dre, whatever.
What was the score?
Fuck you, Crazy. You are going down next time.
What was the score of that game that you lost?
I think I lost by 5. It was actually really close. The lead kept changing the whole way. And then third period, I just couldn't score anymore. My offense just went to sleep.
So I have a question for Chris, if you're listening, with these rules and tiebreakers, right? Because originally they said there's a mercy rule at 10 goals.
Well, the person who's losing can declare it.
Okay, but how is that fair as a tiebreaker if you just scored 33 goals and I play somebody that I'm winning 10-0 after the first, and they say, I want the game to be over?
That's a good point.
I only get 10 points now, or 10 goals, where I could have maybe scored 33 as well.
I've already won the tiebreaker. Doesn't matter.
Well, because it doesn't matter, John, because
Just wait till I play you.
I'm 2-0. I don't even need a tiebreaker.
Oh my God. You didn't even play your game this week.
It's busy. Weather's getting nice. Tip's busy guy. He's over there making 4 podcasts a week. I'm swimming in my pool 4 times a day. We gotta meet up. I go to bed at 10. He goes to bed at 2 a.m. God bless him. I don't know how he does it.
It means you guys have 2 games to play this week.
Yes.
They should be announcing the new matchups too. I haven't seen it. I had a bye week this week, so I've been kind of itching. Maybe you'll get a bye week, and then you don't have to worry about it.
That's true. Yeah, it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to play a game. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, they've been fun. I'm just itching to play. I can't wait for this round 3 to get announced. We should write him right now and just ask what the announcements. I'm going to do that
Let's do that, and let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Number 5.
Drew, I got a question for you.
Ooh, okay.
What would make you play a game multiple times?
Ages of Mages.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, I think when the replayability is something with a different character, like Ages of Ages, that is such a strongly different playstyle, right? Uh, Diablo. How many times have we played through Diablo the same levels? Again,
Mhm.
it's a loot dropping system, right? Where you want to
Yeah.
continue to play to get new loot, something like that. You know, a lot of people love this battle pass type system. I don't know.
Battle.
I mean, the problem with
Oh, you mean
the
like Fortnite or something?
Fortnite, right? That's why people would say you could replay, I
Yeah.
guess. But I don't know. For me, the Switch or any console has so many games. That type of shit's better for like on my phone, to be honest. Like I want to be playing kind of bigger, longer games, a start to finish game on my console. But I think characters. Look at Slay the Spire, right? That in a way too are different characters. And then I think sports games an obvious one.
Hmm.
But I would say loot type system and different characters that have different abilities that make the game play differently.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Um, yeah, I often don't play games multiple times. There has been, for some reason, this past year, I've played a lot of games again. I played Life is Strange twice. Life is Strange 2, I played twice.
Yeah, but those were
Tomb Raider
but you
three
had
times.
reasons for those, right? I mean, they had different outcomes.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? Like, Life is Strange games you have different story elements. So even though you don't have to play it multiple times, I do for the different outcomes. And I think one of the bigger reasons I'll do a game another time is if I want to try to like 100% it or get all the achievements. Sometimes, you know how it is. Like sometimes you play a game through, you beat it, you roll credits, you don't come back to it for a few months, and you're like, I want to get all the achievements in this game. But when you haven't played a game in 3 months, it can be a little like jarring to jump back into it. So I usually like start again. But I only do that with games that are not very long. Shovel Knight, like that sort of thing,
Hmm.
where it's like if it's within a reasonable time frame. Like Dragon Quest 11 is a game I will probably never play again. You're
Yeah,
talking
that's
like
fair.
100 hours. Breath of the Wild is a game that I have been wanting to play again. I don't know why, because I got all the shrines. So there's nothing like find all the shrines. I didn't get all the kokoro seeds. Kokoro. Doesn't
Korak.
sound right. Korak seeds.
Korak.
So if I played it again, I would be full on Korak seed, whatever. And they gave you that special Korak hat that you can use to like find them. Korak? Yeah.
Korak.
But I never get
Korak.
to it because it's like it's going to take me like 70, 80 hours. I
Yeah, but
didn't do all the side quests. So I'm probably more likely to jump in the game that even though my save file is ancient, probably more likely to just go back in and just start from my save file
yeah,
than replay
I
it from the beginning.
I loved that game, but there's games that sometimes are too big to be replayed in a
Hmm.
weird way. I don't see myself ever playing. And again, love Breath of the Wild, nothing against it.
Yeah.
I don't see myself ever replaying that game.
Yeah. Especially so like even when Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, like maybe you just go to a YouTube video and review the story. I mean, there's not a
I mean, the
ton of
story's
story, but
pretty.
yeah,
Age of
I think I
Calamity.
will jump back into it, but yeah, it's hard to play it again. Would you ever do the hard mode on Breath of the Wild? Kind of
No,
makes it a different game, like
nope.
maybe, yeah.
I don't think you play those games necessarily. I mean, and there are certain shrines and things that are challenging, but
Mm.
I mean, I don't play Breath of the Wild to be like a hard game. I'm not looking for Dark Souls. Like I'm looking for an enjoyable game that has a little bit. I mean, you die. I don't think any of us beat Breath of the Wild without dying. Like it's
No,
still gonna happen. But yeah,
that does. You do remind me, like it actually is fun. A lot of those little like shrines were actually really fun, and playing those a second time would be fun too. I don't know. I always did
yeah,
say though that if they came out with like a Switch Pro and it played that game more smoothly, because there was some frame rate drops going on in Breath of the Wild.
Mm.
If you told me Breath of the Wild played, I think it was just 30 frames, but if it could play at a solid, never breaking 30 frames a second, I would play through it again. But only on a Switch Pro in that situation. I would do that.
Yeah.
But then like that, you're playing almost like the game, like a different game.
Oh,
You want to enjoy some of these scenes in a better way. So, but I wouldn't restart.
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I mean, those types of games are so hard to replay in my eyes. My favorite part of any type of big adventure game, even we talked about Phoenix Rising a little bit earlier, is the exploring portion of it, but then finding these like mini jumping puzzles, mini dungeons, mini just things like that you have to do out in the open world. Like I like that part sometimes better than the shrine or better than the dungeon or better than anything else. It's that little puzzle that you come across and you get that chest. That's the stuff I like to play. So, I you don't have that same excitement, I guess, if you've already played it.
Right. The
You know what I'm
discovery is
saying?
gone.
And again, if I played Breath of the Wild tomorrow, I'm not going to remember what I get. But I know that, I don't, it's not a big deal. I don't need to go collect every, rupee or go do everything over there. Like, once you do it, it's not, what was the name of the town you have to build?
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
But I wouldn't need to, I did the town. I built it all the way up to the mats.
Did you do the whole town?
I did. But
You
I
did
wouldn't
it?
have. I actually went back after the game and made sure I didn't look up online. Tarrytown.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But I would never do that again if I played Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah, it's almost like you would start up Breath of the Wild, you'd see that first scene on the hill, and you're like, this is awesome. And then like an hour later, you're like, I don't want to play this again. And it's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Or you're gonna try to go to Ganon as fast as you can.
Yeah, but we would get destroyed. Like we're not speedrunners.
No.
But you know what? You might have convinced me to like get back into Breath of the Wild, and because I've only done like half the side quests, and now I'm kind of
much everything.
I'm kind of maybe willing to jump back in.
No, I'm over 100 hours. So if I remember correctly, I did pretty much everything.
Very nice. Did you get all the Korok seeds?
No, fuck that. That's the only thing I didn't do.
Number 4.
John, we have a big one here. Rumor Town, E3's upon us. We got a lot of stuff we need to go through really quick. And we can talk about each one. So, famous internet leaker, whatever you want to call it, Zippo, whatever the hell his name is out there. He predicted some very interesting stuff in 2020. He predicted pretty much every single DLC Smash character. He predicted, or leaked rather, Paper Mario and the Origami King, to the point of that was the name. He said there's going to be a new Paper Mario game. It's going to be called Origami King. So this guy obviously knows his shit somehow, right? Here's what he has leaked coming to either E3 or 2021 this year. Super Mario Party 2. I mean, I love it. I hope it's real. I hope it's true.
Yeah.
What, now, he says it's focused very much on the boards, right? It's going to be very board-driven, board-heavy. What's your take here? No? Yay? Nay?
I one of the nice things about Super Mario Party on Switch is like, there's one Super Mario Party. Now here we go with the sequels. I have no interest. I've never been a huge fan of Super Mario Party, and I'm, I got the first one, but
This is one of my favorite franchises ever. I really, really, really hope they introduce. Fun fact: in Mario Party 2, they did introduce this was like a story mode, right, where you have to kind of really create a replayability factor. So that's what we need to see in Super Mario Party 2.
Sure.
What
else? Does he have anything better?
2D Metroid. You care about that?
That would be cool. Oh yeah, no, I'd play through that.
Not a Metroid guy.
Yeah.
Nothing against Samus or anything like that. She's hot. I would, yeah. But I don't know. I don't like the whole explore a dungeon and go back type.
You mean Metroidvania?
Sure, if you want to call it that. If that's what they're calling it nowadays on the web.
I still can't play any of the 3D games. They make me ill, and I want nothing more than to play Metroid Prime. And I just can't. For some reason, it makes me nauseous. And even thinking about the visors makes me nauseous. But I love the 2D games.
It's funny because I've made it so far in my life as a Nintendo fanboy, playing tons of games, even before kids, where I had more time, of never playing an Animal Crossing game, never playing a Pokemon game, never playing a Metroid game. And now it's like, just in the last few years, played Animal Crossing, I'm hooked in Pokemon, like, am I gonna just get suckered into the NetSpace Nintendo thing? And I don't know. Is Metroid Prime 4 gonna come out? And I'm like, I have to play it. So I'm gonna before I was just like,
three.
yeah, but before I was just like, I can skip it. But now it's like I'm not skipping these games.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. This looks pretty cool.
New like something other than tropical. I love the Donkey Kong series. I love the collectathon aspect of it. I still have some stuff I need to do on Tropical Freeze on Switch. I didn't
play that one.
I got all the collectibles, but I haven't done the time. There's like time trial stuff. So you can 200% the game.
Now, there's also rumors this could be like a 3D-ish, 2.5D-ish.
Yeah, I mean they're already kind of 2.5D.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would kill for another Donkey Kong Country game. Bring it on.
Now, Fire Emblem, John.
Yes.
Anything. You don't care. What about another old remake? You don't want that. This
is the only rumor I did hear about that, because the Fire Emblem Three Houses game was not made by Intelligent Systems, which is usually who makes Fire Emblem, and it was made by Koei Tecmo, Ninja Gaiden people. So, but Fire Emblem, there's a game coming from Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem, and this has me aroused because Intelligent Systems is the Fire Emblem I love, and Intelligent Systems is one of my favorite developers, top 5. So if they're announcing a Fire Emblem game that's coming out soon, oh yeah, I'm all in.
Now, forgive my ignorance, but was Three Houses like a full-blown Fire Emblem game, or was it definitely more like a story-driven game?
It was a combination of the two. There was a lot of story elements. There was like a 3D environment and interactions.
But it's a little different than the traditional.
Yeah. Most of the traditional ones, there's like levels, so there might be like 20 levels in the game. You do have some relationships you build between levels, but it's more of like, get these two people together, chat. But it's not like you're not running around in a school or anything. Mm-hmm. It's just more efficient. And in fact, if I ever want to replay a Fire Emblem game, like Awakening from 3DS and some of those games, they're just more replayable because they're more efficient. Whereas I did play through Three Houses 3.5 times, but it got a little more painful every time because you had to go run around and do all your story stuff. And it was like, let's just do the battles and get this over with. So yeah, I'm super stoked if we're getting a Fire Emblem game on the Switch.
I'll tell you what, I hope it happens for you, John. Again, this is something I will not be picking up.
Yeah, and neither will Dan.
He's not a fan?
No, not a fan.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. More 99 type games. We got Pac-Man recently. We had Mario 35, Tetris. What's your thoughts on this? Let me ask you this rather. What is one that you would want? And then what would be your prediction of the next 99 game?
I don't really need one right now. I feel like this prediction is off. We just got Pac-Man 99. We still have Tetris 99, Super Mario 35. There's still some people upset. I don't know why that it's gone. I mean, come on, were we still playing that? That game just took too long. But yeah, no, this feels too soon for a 99 game. Now, maybe come September when that will be the third year of the Nintendo Switch Online. Maybe they always try to do something new and exciting so that people who have annual renewals set up will renew. Yep. But yeah, it won't be for a while. And
that's not too far away. I mean, 5 months or so, 4 months.
You know what game I'd like to see in a 99 format? Donkey Kong 99. And I'm thinking
the original.
I'm thinking of an infinite, where you have 99 Marios running up the girders and going to the barrels, and the person who can get the highest, that would be kind of something fun, that
game, that. It doesn't hold my attention. It's so repetitive. I don't know.
I did like the Pac-Man one, but you're right. I don't play it every day.
No. Yeah. I would love some type of Punch-Out one. I think
Punch-Out 99.
Yeah. Who knows? But here's what I think. I think the next 99 game that we see, John, is Sonic.
Ew, no.
I'm telling you.
Ugh,
I think
no.
so. I'm telling you.
Nintendo's
That's
not
my
going to
guess.
promote a whole bunch of Sonic. That's just not happening.
They could. Why Pac-Man? I have no relationship to Pac-Man.
I don't know. What else? What else are we hearing here?
Detective Pikachu 2.
Didn't we know that already? I think we know that already.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we knew that there was a. They talked about doing another Detective Pikachu game for Switch, and I remember people asking, "What about the 3DS one? Are they going to remaster the 3DS one?" Because a lot of people didn't play that one. So I think we kind of knew this was going to happen at some point. And I
never
wonder if
played the first one.
I did. It was awful.
Really?
I played through the whole thing. It's really bad. It's got some funny moments, but it's it wasn't great. Yeah.
Interesting. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD remakes, possibly even packed together in the same cart. How many times can they continue to make these games?
I know. I love Wind Waker
Me
HD.
too.
I'd probably find a reason to play it again,
Me
but
too.
I really don't. I don't need it on Switch.
I don't need it.
Hopefully they come, but I'm not going to be super excited.
The only thing that always drives me, and I love Wind Waker, probably top 2 Zelda of all time, is the stupid one of the early ones when you have to go to like the prison place and all the stupid lights and you have to avoid them.
Oh yeah, many games do that. They love that. And then you get caught, and then they just let you go.
Well, sometimes you get sent to the prison in that one. They have to go all the way back
then
up.
You just keep getting out. Maybe kill Link. Maybe just slit his throat.
Game over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2 will not be in 2021.
I mean, I don't know if this is a bold. This is like something someone could just guess.
Yeah,
I don't think we know. I think we're going to see Breath of the Wild 2 still. I think we may still see it this holiday. I know we have Pokemon lined up, but I still think we're going to see it early December.
Yep. And the last one here is, they say Mario Kart 9 will be this holiday. There's been a lot of speculation with that recently. He does say it's not necessarily just Mario Kart. It's just they're working on some type of kart game. Obviously, you would assume Mario Kart, but it could be Nintendo Kart. It could be Diddy Kong Racing. It could be something. It has to be Mario Kart. I think
it could be an expansion to that Mario Kart Tour Live, the AR one.
No,
maybe?
According to him, they say it's not part of the Live. It's not part of the Universal Studios expansion of the attraction. It is a Switch game.
Yeah, I think Mario Kart 8 is such a perfection of the series. I don't have like an appetite for 9, but what I would love to see from a new Mario Kart game is really kind of a change in mechanics. I don't know what it is, but I'd like to see a different graphical style. I think it's just time to, it's just like with Smash Ultimate. You reach the pinnacle of what the game is. You can't just put out another game that looks like Smash Ultimate. You need to do something much more different, totally new, play dynamics. And I think that's what Mario Kart needs. It's just such a perfection of the formula. Let's do something different now.
But I think it's so easy if they really wanted to introduce the Nintendo card at this point. We saw Link, we saw Animal Crossing.
Right.
It opens up. I mean, I love Mario and the world of Mario and Mushroom Kingdom, but how many times can you see the same levels?
Right, exactly.
Right? How many other Mushroom Kingdom levels can they make?
How about a Mario Kart that looks like some of these realistic dirt racers we've seen on other platforms like MotorStorm or Dirt, or something, and just make it a much more rugged, realistic looking Mario Kart? That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Hopefully E3 brings up some good news, but at the end of the day, John, at the end of the day, I have Mario Golf coming to me. Doesn't matter.
Number 3.
Woohoo, we're free. John,
we made it.
COVID restrictions are being lifted. The world is becoming a better place, I guess you may want to say. Depends who you ask. But what have you had any personal experiences yet with this new guidelines? Is it official? Is it official Tuesday? What's the actual?
No, it's
deal?
official. Well, the CDC said, these are guidelines, but the CDC is not like a law or anything like that.
Well,
so it's really
correct.
up to the states. Well, it was last week. We had some family over and we didn't wear masks. That was the first time we had done that in over a year. So that was cool.
Yeah.
It was before the CDC announcement, but we were all vaccinated. So it's like, we're cool. But yeah, no, it was really nice to see. I still kind of plan on wearing a mask to certain stores for a couple reasons. One, I kind of think this is going to be a backwards policy because I think the people who are the most mask conscious are the people who got vaccinated.
Yep.
And they're probably going to keep wearing masks for a while longer. And the people who really don't like the masks, who are kind of like maybe anti-vaxxers or whatever, are going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to wear my mask now. So it's going to be like this opposite thing where people not wearing the masks might possibly be more likely not vaccinated, ironically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I really enjoyed a year where I just didn't get sick. I mean, the sickest I was all year was my second vaccine shot. And it was great. It was like, So like when I go to Target, or King supermarket or whatever, I'll probably wear my mask for quite a bit longer, just in those environments. I'm not going to wear my mask with family or whatever, and I still might get sick, but I don't know. I'm gonna try the mask thing from now on, especially when I go into very public places. And
it's weird. We first experienced Saturday. I was running around like crazy. We had t-ball and softball, and I had an outdoor birthday party at a playground for my daughter. I didn't wear a mask. It was weird, but it was nice. I mean, we were all outside. We still socially distanced. But standing outside, being able to watch my daughter play softball and not having to wear a mask and not, it was nice. Mm-hmm. Fresh air, it was beautiful. 75 degrees out. It was nice.
Yeah. Did you find that a lot of other people like that maybe wore masks before like stopped, or obviously there's still some people that are wearing masks?
Yeah, of course there's still some people. And my wife's the coach of the team, so she wore one because she was around all the kids and made the parents feel comfortable and stuff. And
Right.
It's funny. It's just something, just like you put your phone in one pocket, you put your wallet in the other pocket. The back pocket, I have a mask in it. And if I went to the concession stand to buy a Gatorade, I put the mask on. If you go into the bathroom, I put the mask on. It's just a different atmosphere, different lifestyle, and it's just nice not having to do it and maybe starting to go out more. Like you said, last summer we didn't go anywhere, but maybe now I'll go to the zoo. You know what I'm saying? Like some outdoor more activities, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a little adjustment period. It probably won't last that long. But it's exciting and like we actually can make plans.
Correct.
Like, I don't know if we're going to Disneyland or not. I think Disney World said you don't have to wear masks outdoors, but you still have to wear them like in the dark rides and stuff, which will be weird. It'll be a lot of taking masks on and off.
No, you have to wear them for every ride. So as soon as you walk into a line queue, you have to put it on. Until you leave. So at every restaurant, every shop, you still have to wear them. So it's like you're still wearing it probably
when you're
70%
walking
of the time.
around, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not brutal. You can have an ice cream cone or something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I look forward to having some plans.
Finally.
Sweet. Woo!
Right direction.
Number 2.
Monthly Mayhem. John, we are back. You still need a break, so I took over for you because you did a fabulous job last month. But we are moving forward this month, and we're already live. May 9th, it kicked off with a demo for Metopia. We're running this one all the way through June 19th. Simple, guys. Medals. Collect medals.
I like the simple ones.
It's so easy, and you can go to the medal screen, and it says you have 0 of blank medals. And I think it's like 270 something medals. It's ridiculous. I played the demo, and I thought I did great. I had like 10. And then Chris said his son had like 27 from the demo, and I said, I don't even know how that's possible. I feel like I did everything I could. So yeah, it's simple, it's fun, it's hoping people are gonna pick up this game because I personally have never played it before, and played the demo and it's great. The beauty about this Monthly Mayhem, John, is even if you don't plan on buying this game, go play the demo, get 10 medals, and you have a chance of win, right?
Yeah.
You might not win the 15, but you have a chance of winning the $10.
Right. And then maybe you'll want to play the game.
Yep. So that runs to June 19th. And then, guys, I'm going to do something that we've never done before. I'm going to already tease and tell you what's happening after June 19th. I'm planning out your entire summer of Monthly Mayhem right now. So, again, May 9th to June 19th, Metopia. Give us a week, tally up the totals, announce the winners. Then, June 25th, as we all know, Mario Golf comes out. What we're doing this year, though, is we're having a Mario Golf League. So this is not a Monthly Mayhem. This is a Mario Golf League. It comes out June 25th. We're going to wait like a week or so we all can start picking up the game, see how we like it. I can understand a little bit about the rules. During that first week or two, you're going to tell me or John that you were either going to be in the Golf League if you want to play. It's that simple. So, yep, I'm in.
I'm in.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to try to make the lead so we don't have to plan on you playing somebody every week. It's going to be more like a weekly tournament. You have to submit your score for this course in these playing conditions with these pins, these tees, this weather, whatever we can adjust. We'll have to, we'll figure that out. And that's going to last, guys, about 2 months, about 8 weeks. We're going to do that. So it'll be about 8 different weeks, 8 different challenges. There's going to be some weeks where maybe we do some fun stuff, like we did get some speed rush in there. And it's just going to be curveball, throwing off the curveball. Marty doesn't know this yet, but since we're doing 2 months, it means we'd have to raise the pot. So the Golf League will be taking all the Monthly Mayhem money. Maybe I can squeeze a little bit of extra dime or two out of Marty, and we'll see. But my goal is to pay out like the top 3 winners, or maybe top 2, and maybe we'll do a random drawing for again, just a random person like we always do. And however much money we can get, we'll split it, evenly, like, something like 35 to first or 10 and then 5. We'll figure it out. But that's what the plans are. So that's going to run pretty much all the way through August. And it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Golfing through the summer.
I
like it. I'm going to skip Metopia because I played through it all on 3DS, but I'm gearing up for Mario Golf. I'm coming for you, Drew.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun. So.
And number 1.
Lawn mowing. Drew, it is the season for mowing the lawn. And
John,
I'm not talking about the grass.
I have been waiting 2 weeks to hear about your hair and how it's going. I mean, I just gotta say, it's intimidating your first time.
Oh
right?
my God, yeah.
It's no pun intended. It's a hairy situation, as one may say. But when you sent me the picture 2 days later that you bought this sucker.
Mm-hmm.
First of all,
did you doubt me?
Never. Yeah. What was Michelle's first words?
Oh, she does not know.
What?
She does not know.
She didn't know you got it.
I didn't get it. I didn't like, just in case there was an accident or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, like, so we'll just try this on our own without letting anyone know. And like, since then, it's like, how do you broach it? Do you just like pull your pants down and go like, what do you think? I don't know. I don't know how to broach it. So it's just sort of there, and maybe she'll discover it someday. But yeah, it was really scary. The lawn, it looks like an electric razor.
Yeah.
But like, they have this picture of you have to cut so that the guard is between the razor and your balls. And if you do it the other way, it could be a bad situation. So it was
wait a
kind
minute.
of worrisome.
I don't know about this. Maybe I'm confused here.
There is like
He's showing me visually, guys, just so you know.
I know it's hard to explain, but there's a picture on it where you just have to make sure you're going in a certain pathway so that the guard is always between.
Is against your balls.
Yeah, because if you go the other way, you could end up in a situation where
I know what you're saying.
balls are on the other side of the border wall, So I was really nervous about it. I understood the concept, but it was like, it's sensitive or whatever. And yeah, I probably cut a little too close. But at the time there was a lot of forest to cut down. So
must have been making mowing easy.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: when I was done, I went upstairs to like relax. It was like Netflix time, and it was like that uncomfortable razor burn. It wasn't like razor burn because it wasn't like I cut like that, but like it was short and stubbly, and I was like I was itchy.
Did you powder?
Great. I did not powder. I don't have powder. You got a powder?
Got a powder.
It got better. Like then by the next day I was okay. So I was cool.
I powder every day.
You powder every day?
Yeah, because when it's hot and you get sweaty, the powder lasts. So it makes it smooth. It doesn't. You don't want your balls sticked into the side of your leg.
Well, sure.
Powder.
I don't
powder
know.
it.
East Coast
powder
is
lasts.
It's not.
You don't want chafe
over here.
You don't want chafage.
Yeah.
Gold Bond powder. That's magic down there.
I've done Gold Bond, especially when I go to Disney. The Gold Bond comes with me.
Yeah, that's right. You get the little travel size too. You can put it in your backpack.
Yeah, especially because you go to the bathroom during the day and
just load that up.
They don't have any bidets at Disney.
But baby powder.
Baby powder.
You have to order yourself a bottle.
I'll try. That stuff gets messy though.
I'll send it to you, Michelle. Like, what's this? Why Drew send you baby powder?
Is there baby powder? But no, it's a good experience. It's like a new me, right? You can be a little more kempt down there, and the old method of using scissors, was never very comfortable. But
it's magic.
Usually you use the scissors because things have gotten out of hand too. So hopefully it won't.
The big question is, will you be cutting the grass again?
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't like you. No, that's a point question. It's not like you tried it and it wasn't for you or didn't work out.
Sell a used version, like sell it used to somebody else. Yeah, no, it was a pleasant experience, and now I have 3 electric razors for different parts of my body. I was wondering, like, is this something that you let your wife use? Like,
I don't believe she's used it, but it's available to anybody needing it.
Okay. Especially like if you like to like do it for her.
Not into that.
Okay.
Now, would you be disgusted if this was used on your face too as well?
Yes.
Really? Why? You have to rinse it out and stuff.
I mean, yeah, not really, I guess, but I already have like clippers for my head, and I have buzzers for my face, and now I've got.
But this is well made. Admit this is a nice product.
It is, right? They say because it's like plastic.
Yeah.
Or something like
correct.
that.
There's no like metal. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and which is weird because it's like buzzing back and forth, and it's like, well, I don't care if it's plastic or metal. It still sounds like it would hurt if I went the wrong way.
Correct.
Have you ever had an injury with a lawnmower?
Not the lawnmower, no.
Okay.
No
like,
injury.
have you ever had a close call and then was like, oh, okay, nothing happened there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think I think at one time I tried, because they say you physically can't cut yourself. Right?
Really? Oh, God.
That's what they advertise. I believe, like, on my arm, I tried, like, just pushing it down.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. I don't get it.
That's something you would never try.
With, like, a real...
with like, I would never, like... not even on your arm, right? Like, just, like, push it against your balls to see what would happen.
I did just, like, push it as hard as I could. I gently pushed it a little harder, and then I was like, nothing's happening.
Oh, man. No, it's a cool little thing. I mean, what was it, like $70 or something? I mean, it's not super cheap or anything.
No,
but,
it's not.
But, I think it's, I think they really advertise the groin hair. It's a weird expression to see on the box. For groin hair, I don't know. It's like, but they like the commercials are always talking about your balls. No, I think it's a good experience. I think you have to be careful not to cut it because it's not like they have multiple guards.
No, but you can adjust it.
Can you? Oh, you can adjust it.
You can push it up or down. It has like 2 or 3.
Okay, so it's not different guards, but you can adjust that one guard.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
It goes up and down.
Because I was gonna say just like hold it further away, but no, I like that better. That's good.
Yeah,
I think I went a little too short. I think
I like it short.
I had teenager balls.
No, I like it short.
Yeah.
I go bald sometimes. You start with that. Then
with the lawnmower?
Well, no, you
then you use a
razor
razor
after.
Okay. Yeah. I've done that in the past, but
that gets itchy though.
And it's hard to use a straight razor down there. You're gonna get patchy, and I don't know.
You need to do razor then.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go there because then you will get itchy. But I guess the baby powder, the Drew baby
powder that every day, Sutter. Yep, throw that right on immediately after. Done.
So I'd love to know if anybody listening is gonna try the lawnmower that didn't before. Let us know.
Yeah, and powder.
And the Drew powder, yes.
Yes.
Let us know. You might like it. And for the hairier guys, you have to kind of adjust to other body hair. It could get a little weird looking. So I think that's also a bit of a challenge too. I'm an Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've got some body hair and you don't want to like have it at different lengths to be like a weird looking gorilla.
That's always been the tricky part, right? Where's the cutoff from like the little happy trail below your belly button?
Yeah.
Like, when do you cut that? Like what's the cutoff between that and down there?
I have this mental image where you just use a straight razor down there and there's just this line. It just doesn't sound like it would be very attractive. I mean, like if you want your wife to just laugh at you before. So
then you're wearing like a bathing suit one day, falls down a little bit. You just see like the happy trail end.
It's just this square around your groin and then the hair continues down your legs and it would be a really great look.
All right. Well, John, I'm glad you had an amazing experience with the lawnmower.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna have to do some manscaping myself. Maybe this week. It's time for
it. How long do you go between?
I like to do it the same time I get a haircut. I find that works out well.
All right. How often do you get a haircut?
Once a month.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it more than that down there, I feel like you got an issue going on. It shouldn't be growing that fast.
Yeah. I just buzz my hair every week and a half, so I can't time it to a haircut, but I'm curious to see it. It hasn't hit yet, so I'm curious to see when it's time to go down again.
Well, John, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. Mow that lawn.
That's all I got. What did you got? What do we got coming up the next few weeks?
We've got a good little batch of games coming. I've been waiting for this this next couple weeks. We got a whole bunch coming. May 19th. That would be Tuesday? May 19th. That's a weird date, right? Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday.
Aerial Knights Never Yield. This was the game that we
skateboarding game.
That's it's like the runner.
It's like Sayonara.
No, come on, stop, man. Sayonara is top of the class. This was not. I played the demo. I didn't really like this, but I might give it a shot. We'll see. I'll probably put it on my wish list and play it at some point. But Aerial Knights Never Yield, that comes out on Wednesday. Knockout City this Friday. This Friday's a big day.
Free to play?
I think that's free to play.
Is that Battle Pass shit too?
Probably, yeah. It's going to be all of that jazz.
Stupid.
So, but it looks like it could be fun. I'm not going to play it because this is one of those games you kind of play for a couple hundred hours. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
But that's coming out. Metopia, our monthly Mayhem game, comes out Friday. And the Blurple Switch Lite. They have not started pre-orders. No, they haven't done pre-orders for this yet that I know of. But I really want it. This is going to become my new Switch Lite main. And I've played my Switch Lite a lot lately. So then Shin Megami Tensei 3, finally. I know some people that have been waiting for this since the Switch came out.
I don't even know what this is. I have to Google it.
It's basically the game that Persona came off of. So that comes out May 24th. Maneater. This is a game I really wanted to come to Switch, and now that it's coming to Switch, I'm not really excited about it because I think I'd rather play it on my Xbox. But that's the game where you're the shark and you have to eat the peoples.
That sounds fantastic.
I think that's kind of a you game, really, Drew. So take a look at that one, May 25th. And then World's End Club. I saw a few people, Tim and Jesse especially, played the demo and actually really enjoyed it.
It's your cup of tea, this game.
Yeah, I might be into this one. We'll see what I'm doing, but yeah, it was funny because usually like I don't really enjoy demos anymore. They start them in the middle of the game. I like the beginning of the game experience. So I'm gonna wait. I'll probably buy this when it comes out. But yeah, it's coming out May 28th. So maybe I'll play it day one. We'll see. So there's a lot coming.
Good. Well, John, as always, this has been a pleasure, a fun episode. But that's all I got from me. So you have a lovely evening, and everyone, thank you for listening.
Good night, Dads.
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter at NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.